Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Hopefully, you have been following me on my YouTube page where you can find those six special series episodes that have some great information, you guys, coming into 2026. But I want to start a new tradition, one that allows me to share some breaking news with you in regards to topics relevant to higher education and behavioral health. First up, breaking news today. Cyberattacks FERPA in the first 24 hours. Today's episode, let's look at AI-driven cyber attacks that are battering universities and the fallout reaches far beyond the IT. When attackers pierce the system that hold education records, campuses don't just face downtime, they collide head-on with FERPA, obligations and students' trust. A January 9, 2026 analysis warns that colleges are being constantly bombarded by increasingly sophisticated attacks, putting education records at risk as data moves across registrars, advising, health services, campus police, and even more. Know that this is a going issue, whether it's in healthcare with HIPAA, or whether it's in higher education with FERPA, or whether it's with your business like I have, and which I have dealt with for years now. I'm Dr. Teranda Knight. I'm a doctor of behavioral health, integrated behavioral healthcare leader, and Lean Six Sigma Green Belt professional. I am the CEO of Virtually Renowned Consulting Access LLC and your host of Roots and Resilience Higher Ed Edition. I'm here to help higher education and behavioral health leaders operationalize privacy competent integrated care so students get timely support and staff stop burning out. Yes, today's episode where FERPA becomes a frontline issue. That moment your campus suffers a cyber incident and what leadership must do in the first 24 hours. Now, let's take a look. First up, the threat landscape meets FERPA. Let's start with the big picture. On January 9, 2026, a sector brief pulled together last year's high-profile intrusions across elite campuses and made one point clear. Cyber attacks are escalating and educational records are in the blast radius. The challenge is not just perimeter defense, it's safeguarding records as they traverse departments and vendors across the small city that is a modern university. Under FERPA, education records are broadly defined and follow the student across units. Registrars, disciplinary bodies, advising can intersect with health and safety scenarios. When a breach occurs, leaders must quickly determine what systems touched educational records and who had access. Not only whether the SIS was compromised, the governance sprawl is exactly what security analysis flagged this month. So let's have an aha moment. FERPA risk isn't just about the student information system. It's any workflow where identifiable student records move, whether it's email threads, shared drives, advising notes, and vendor platforms. If you only investigate the actual system itself, you're missing breaches' true footprints because sometimes those footprints can come from third party access. Next up, why delay turns into harm? And here's two reasons. The first is when we look at humans' impact in the recent coverage of January 27, 2026, that shows 73% of students say they trust campus counseling, but only 18% actually use it. If a breach shakes trust in confidentiality, utilization drops even further, precisely when students may need the most help. It goes the same way for those of us in behavioral health and healthcare. People lose trust in behavioral health and healthcare as a result of feeling their information is kept private and safe. Here's the second reason why delays turn into harm. Insider Inside Higher Ed published, and we already know residential communities aren't perceived as mental health supports. Only 33% of students view their residential life community as supportive, and just 28% feel strongly connected. If privacy feels uncertain post breach, those numbers don't get help. So, a cyber incident isn't only an IT crisis, it's an utilization crisis. Students won't seek help from systems they don't trust. So a breach can directly reduce access to care. And remember this, if your system is being sabotaged, maybe people are sharing that your system isn't safe, even if your system isn't even being used to determine if it's safe or not, is a red flag that your business and organization is being sabotaged. Next up, the first 24 hours is important. A FERPA ready playbook needs to be in play. And here's a concise FERPA way first day plan that aligns with the governance realities analysts raised on January 9, 2026. First, map the data flow from hour 0 to 2. Identify which units handle affected education records, whether it was registrar, advising, whether it was the behavioral health or IT care team, whether it was athletics or financial aid, and which vendors process them. Second, isolate and preserve within hour 0 to 4. That means IT isolates affected systems, legal and compliance, preserve logs and communication touching education records. And third, FERPA lens briefing. This should happen within the first 1 to 3 hours. This looks like General Counsel and Registrar outline what counts as an education record in this incident and who has legitimate educational interest to view breach details. The fourth factor is student communication plan. This should occur within 4 to 10 hours. Draft plan language notices that explain what happened and how access to services remains protected. Referencing those FERPA duties, avoid legal-based factors. Reinforce counseling access. Tied to current student trust utilization realities as reported in Higher Ed an Inside Higher Ed publication of January 27, 2026. And then finally, care path continuity should happen within the first 4 to 12 hours. That means that your IT team, your care management team, and your counseling teams verify continuity for any student cases documented that's impacted within the system. So protect confidentiality and rebuild trust quickly. And remember, this information right here is coming straight from the FERPA compliance of 2026. It's a guide for university cybersecurity leaders. So don't just take it from me. I'm providing you the actual facts that's been identified through that lovely research we love. And here's another aha moment. The first communication after breach isn't a technical postmortem. It's a trust restoration plan, linking privacy duties with clear, accessible care options. Now, let's look at the interview setup. Join me next episode, we will be rotating panels. Remember, the registrar, the student affairs leaders, but for internal briefs this week, use these prompts. Make sure you're identifying with these factors. Who owns those systems? How will we document legitimate educational interests when scoping breach impacts? The next one is, what language will we use to ensure students grounded in FERPA and the utilization gaps as reported in the January 27, 2026 publication of Inside Higher Ed. And remember, if your campus needs a FERPA incident decision card and a role-based data map template, message me, FERPA map. I'll send you the starter kit we implement so that your leadership team can be successful. Remember, I'm Dr. Teranda Knight. To work with me on privacy competent integrated care, visit www.virtuallyrenownedconsultingaccessllc.org or email me today at tnight@virtuallyrenownedconsulting.onmicrosoft.com, or give me a call or text me at 1-984-677-4191. Follow me at Never Feed the Beast on TikTok and all my other platforms as well. Next episode, the 2026 HIPAA Security Rule Overhaul and the why campus health and counseling centers must move now. Until next time, remember, never feed the beast, never fed the beast. Work hard and stay peaceful, and make sure you are tuning in so you can gain those roots of resilience.